Are you dealing with a narcissist and thinking that they never worry about anything? You're always worried about stuff that they're doing and feeling like they're just totally confident all the time and constantly making you worry. But did you know that they actually worry about some things too? They're super insecure. What are the top 5 things that they worry about? I'm going to share them with you in this video, so stay tuned. Hey there, I'm Rebecca Zung. I am an attorney. I'm also a narcissist negotiation expert, and I help people break free from toxic relationships. I've helped millions of people through this channel, thousands of people through my law practice, through my coaching practice, through my Slay programs. I want to help you too. So if you haven't subscribed to this channel, I invite you to go ahead and do that now. Subscribe. Hit that notification bell. And also, if you haven't had a chance to grab my free Crush My Negotiation Prep Worksheet, it's a free 15-page e-booklet, and it is amazing. It's super substantive. It has helped really thousands of people get the results they want. You can get that at crushmydeal.com. It's a free gift for you. All right, let's talk about the 5 things that narcissists worry about. And you're going to want to watch all the way till the end because I'm saving the best for last, of course. Number 1, the first thing that narcissists worry about is they worry about being forgotten. Narcissists really do not want to be forgotten because, of course, they want to feel super special. That's one of the things that is really, really important to narcissists. It's actually one of the things that is highlighted in the spectrum of narcissistic personality disorder. If you look at the DSM-5, which is how psychologists and psychiatrists actually look to see if somebody has narcissistic personality disorder, they want to feel like they're special. So being forgotten is one of the most things that they worry about. Is one of the worst things that could possibly happen to them. They need to be the center of attention, and they fear that if they're not, it means that they kind of disappear because they have no internal sense of value. They get all of their sense of value from external sources. So that's why they're constantly doing things to try to be the center of attention. You know, if they're an overt narcissist, they do things to be boastful, they brag a lot, you know, they overtly try to be the center of attention. If they're more of a covert narcissist, they act like the victim, they try to do things that make you feel guilty, that sort of thing. But either way, they're always trying to be the center of attention, even if it makes themselves look bad. Being forgotten is absolutely one of the top things that they worry about. Number 2 is losing control. They absolutely hate losing control. They must be in control of everything at all times. And how they go about that is, you know, they do that in different ways, depending on whether they're an overt narcissist or a covert narcissist. They definitely want to be in control at all times. This is why they are manipulative. This is why, you know, sometimes they're passive aggressive. Sometimes they use gaslighting. You know, they have all these different ways of trying to be in control at all times. They have their little kingdoms or queendoms, depending on what type of, you know, if they're male or female or whatever. But this need for control is constant. And this is why they're constantly on this hunt for narcissistic supply. Worrying about losing control is something that keeps them up at night quite frankly. And they're super insecure. So, they have trust issues, all of these things. So obviously losing control is a big, big problem for them. Number 3 is being rejected. They absolutely are very, very concerned about whether or not somebody is, for them or against them. And, for them, everything is black and white. So you are either for them or you're against them. And being slighted is, even if there's a hint of it, a tone of it. I always say that narcissists hear tones like dogs hear whistles. Even if there's no tone, they hear tone. I mean, they're highly, highly sensitive to being rejected. It really comes down to the fact that, they're operating on an immature, emotionally limbic brain, frankly. And so they need to be loved and accepted by everybody, and sensitive to the fact that they're not, even if they say, I don't care if these people like me. I mean, they'll say that. They say that all the time. But the fact of the matter is that they very much do. And they'll say, I feel whole. I feel complete. I don't care if anybody loves me. But they are extremely, extremely sensitive to this. And this fear of being rejected leads them to being actually very clingy and needy in relationships. Even if they're rejecting you, they'll reject you, but then pull you back, reject you, then pull you back. It's a very hot and cold type of relationship, but that is how they are. They're extremely nervous about being rejected. That is the next one. The next one is they're extremely worried about being alone. They hate being alone. They need people around because that's where they get their narcissistic supply. They get supply from people. So they need people to be giving them that supply. That's where they get the feeding of their ego, is from those sources. So they need that. It's either going to be in the form of what I call diamond level supply, which is adulation or people giving them that prestige, that sort of thing, or what I call coal level supply, which is controlling people, debasing people, treating people poorly, that sort of thing. But they need to be surrounded by people at all times. And this fear of being alone can lead them to being very codependent on people. And when people try to leave them, they go crazy, stalking sometimes, trying to make you feel guilty. I mean, even after they've treated you so poorly, they go crazy if you try to leave them. It's so crazy, but that's what happens. I mean, they hate being alone. So that's one of their major fears, one of their major worries as well. So that's number 4. And if you've seen any of these so far, give me a totally in the comments, right? Totally, you've seen this. I know you have. Now I have led myself up to number 5, which is the big one, the most important one. Absolutely. And when you are negotiating with a narcissist, trying to get something out of them, trying to create leverage, this is the biggie. This is the most important one. This is the one when you are developing any kind of a strategy, which is all part of my SLAY methodology, by the way, strategy, leverage, anticipate, focus on you. This is where you're going to build your leverage. Number 5 is they worry about being exposed. This is the most important one, the thing they worry about the absolute most. They are very worried about being exposed. They don't want anyone to see their true selves. They don't want to be exposed to anyone, including their partners. They don't want to even show their true selves to their spouses, to anyone, because they don't want anyone, they don't trust anyone, they don't want anyone to know who they are. This fear of exposure leads them to live lives of lies and deception and manipulation. And, they'll tell everyone else, you're not trustworthy and you're a liar. They call everybody else these names. But the truth of the matter is, it's they themselves that are not trustworthy. It's they themselves who are the liars. It's they themselves who are projecting and deflecting, who are doing all of the things that they are accusing other people of, because they are afraid, deathly afraid of being exposed. And so this is the area that you can actually build leverage around. Now, you have to be really, really careful about how you build this leverage, because if you actually expose them, then of course your leverage is gone. When you start to see the collapse of a narcissist, and that's the next video here that you should actually watch, what happens when a narcissist collapses, and that is not a pretty sight, by the way. So what I would want you to do next is make sure that you have subscribed to this channel, hit that notification bell. If you have not gotten my free Crush My Negotiation prep worksheet, you can get that at crushmydeal.com, and join my free private Facebook group, Narcissist Negotiators with Rebecca Zung. Make sure you do that as well, because I want you to get the help and support that you need. I'm Rebecca Zung. Remember that today is a great day to start negotiating your best life. And I will see you in that next video, what happens when you see the collapse of a narcissist. Thanks for stopping by.